Welcome back to Cards and Comics, and today I have my 200th video that I posted to YouTube. So this is my 200th episode spectacular, right? And yeah, I'm not going to get too sentimental because this is still a new thing to me. But I did think a little bit about what I wanted to do for my 200th video, and obviously, I thought I would spend time talking about cards and things I really love. And so today I'm going to go through, because I wanted to document it for myself, because I haven't seen them in a while as a collection, is my Ken Griffey Jr. 90s Refractor collection, right? And I think it's going to be fun to go through these now. I don't know really which ones I have, because as I collect them, I just kind of put them in a box, and then eventually I hope to, have all of them. And when I say all of them, the refractors that really matter to me are the base refractors from every year and every set. So there's so many refractors. In fact, I've documented going through the list. I think there's 100, and even, I missed a few. I found a few more. I have 144. If you count, things, all the inserts, the gold, the, even if you count peeled versus unpeeled, every variation, there's a lot. And so, so the base ones, have, let's say, the highest print run. And so you think that they're going to be the easiest one to get. But I found that in some cases, the base cards are the hardest to get, and a lot harder to get than some of the inserts that you would think would be hard. So it's very interesting, right? And well, I'll go through these and I'll kind of indicate sort of how rare the card is, and, and total pop count and PSA 10 count, because PSA 10 is where you get the huge value, in some of these cards. So, but we'll get into it. So we'll go year, go by year, and I'll just kind of show the cards and indicate some newer ones I picked up this year, and sort of how rare they are. So we'll start here with the granddaddy of them all, the 93 finest. This was, for anyone in the 90s, this was a key card. And it's getting more and more of a card that is becoming hard to get. They're not selling as often. They're getting, I think, put in permanent vault collections type, collections like that. And with the importance of refractors, we're seeing that in football right now with Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers and Michael Jordan, that, this card is iconic. It's kind of the beginning of all that. And this is the player that everybody wanted back then. And so, and it's still a beautiful, nice card. And so again, I think, if you wanted to go out and get one now, and the prices have gone up quite a bit. But I put a video out recently about Frank Thomas, and I think, that's a great alternative. And even the Nolan Ryan, which for a long time, the Nolan Ryan was more expensive than Griffey for whatever reason. That card's still really a good card to get. But this is one of those cards that it's going to be tough to really overstate its importance to the hobby, the beginning of this whole craze. But, he was and still is the player that everybody wants from the set. So it's an important card. I'm glad I picked it up when I finally did. Now, I don't have the 94 finest, and so that's on the list. But I do have the Bowman's Best, and so here's a raw, and I picked this one up this year. So here's a raw 94 Bowman's Best. And again, the 93 finest, just so you understand it, it's not really rare in terms of overall pop count and 10 count, because it's just had tons and tons of them graded. And if you add them all up between, BGS, PSA, SGC, the card itself has more than 244 copies. That was just an estimate. That's not a published number. So I don't know how many there really are, but anyway, it's still the iconic card, but it's definitely not the rarest card. And this card, you know, for example, has 103 total graded by PSA versus 244 by the 93. And there's 9 10s versus 42 10s of 93. So this card is a lot harder to get as a 10. Obviously not as valuable. Now, the next one up here is the same card graded a PSA 9. So, again, beautiful card, and you can just see that, you know, this card is one of those, you know, cards that really pop. And I think these early refractors were just, you know, I think done a little bit better and a little shinier. Maybe it's just me thinking that. But again, not overly rare. However, it is ranked in the top 10, you know, for PSA 10. You know, so it is hard to find that card on 10. Here's a card that I missed on my list the first time around, the Griffey Johnny Demon, and this card has 17 10s versus 9 of the base. So it's twice as easy to get. But it's only had 52 total cards graded versus 103. So shows you, for whatever reason, you know, all of us conspiracy theorists might have a reason why the base card grades much harder as a 10, but we'll leave that there. But this card is still a cool card, not very expensive. Next up, this card I did also get this year, so I got both the 94 and 95 Bowman's Best this year. And, you know, it's a beautiful card. This one is pretty well centered. So I'm really looking forward to maybe getting this one graded, because my other 95 Bowman's Best, so again, I have two of these, is poorly centered. It's hard to see, but maybe you can see the centering there. Not great. In fact, this card was closer to an 8OC than an 8. 95 Bowman's Best is a very interesting card because it doesn't have a huge rarity in terms of total pop count on PSA. However, it only has 110. And centering is a big part of that. It has 110 and 42 9s. So this is an 8. There's 42 9s and 23 8s. So it's, you know, in the scheme of things, it's so funny when you talk about pop counts on these cards like this, when you got people trying to rationalize 40,000, 20,000 Mike Trout's, 40,000 Zions as being, you know, that's still the okay pop count. Then you get into Griffey and you think, well, you know, 103 is one of the easiest ones to get. And you're only talking 103 cards. So next up is the 95 Finest Refractor. And again, this one I just wanted to get off my list last year, so I did grab this card. It's off center, so if I ever got it graded, I hope it would grade an 8. But again, 95 Finest is, you know, with coating, because the coating tends to bubble and the cards don't grade as well. So this one has the coating. You can see that a little bit right there. It's got the peeler protector. With coating, there's 3 10s. Without coating, there's 10. Total graded between the two is about 89 cards. So not too tough, but it's tough enough that, you know, and again, you know, only 13 10s between the two. Pretty tough still. This is a 96 Bowman's Best. This is the Atomic Refractor preview. And so, yeah, the preview cards are, you know, are frustrating a little bit because people think they're pretty rare, and sometimes there's a lot of them out there, and people don't put preview, you know. And so it's like, if you're looking for the regular versions of these cards, you have to sort through a lot of these. I think these came in Bowman. I think that's how it worked. You open up a Bowman pack and you get the preview atomics, and these were, you know, 1 in 48, so they weren't super duper rare like later sets were. And again, the preview atomic, you know, there's 92 on the graded and 44 10s, so it's one of the easier 10s to get. And, you know, still a lot of availability. Next up is the 96 Bowman's Best. This is the Atomic, and that's the back, and this is the Griffey side. So you got Ben Grieve and Griffey. And so the mirror, this is the Bowman's Best 96 Mirror Image Atomic. There's 29 of this card. And, you know, I think in, was it 96 or 97? Yeah, in 97 they did a reverse image where they inverted the two photos, but this year they didn't. So there's the Griffey. And, you know, this card, again, isn't overly rare. Again, you know, it's like, you know, it's interesting just how not rare these are. There's 29 10s, you know, comparatively to other Griffies. You know, some of these Atomics don't have quite the pop count that you would think. Just like this card, you know, this is one of my all-time favorite Griffey cards, just because I collected this set a ton, and, you know, I mean, I bought so much of this. I've opened packs, you know, on my channel, and boxes trying to pull the, you know, these cards. These cards are tough. You know, the gold 96 Finest, there are 35 graded without the coating, and 117 with. And so compared to bronze and silver, there's like 3 times as many golds graded, right? And this is part of that whole scenario where you get cards that get graded not because they're you know, rarer than other cards, right? So the gold is rarer than the silver, which is rarer than the bronze, right? So, you know, back when grading was $10 or $15, people still didn't think this bronze and silver is worth getting graded because there were so many of them. But the gold cards were still special enough to get graded, and I just feel like that's sort of the case. And now with, you know, $100, you know, to get graded, no one's going to send those cards in. So these pop counts are, you know, not, I think, representative sometimes of the rarity. It's just more of like the most valuable cards get submitted the most, right? Now here's again anomaly cards that you know, is it really truly rare? This is a 97 Bowman's Best, and this is the International Refractor, right? 97 Bowman's Best International. And so this is interesting because they didn't do Bowman's Best International cards, but I think only 1 year, because this was a carryover from Chrome, right? So Bowman Chrome had these, but Bowman's Best didn't, right? So the International Refractor, this is one of the rare refractors that are out there on the pop report. There's only 19 of these ever been graded, no 10s. And this is one of 10 8s, and there's only 9 9s. So this is, again, there's only 19 of these on the pop report, graded total. So it's a really tough card. And again, I think it just shows that I think this is a tough card. But again, it's per Bowman's Best. And again, Bowman's Best is the 3rd best Bowman set that's out there. And so these cards weren't considered to be high value. So we didn't see a lot of these graded, right? And but this one's really, I think it's a really nice card. And it's, again, finding out that's pretty elusive to find. Now, going into the Bowman's Best that year as well, this is 97's Best Cut, Atomic Refractor. 49 with 8 10s. So again, you know, in that that's mid-pack type rarity for Griffey Jr. cards. You know, obviously 9 10s is tough, but, you know, 10s, you know, aren't out there for a lot of these cards above, you know, we looked at it, I think there's like 7 Griffey cards in total from the 90s that have fewer than 5 PSA 10 refractor, you know, as a refractor. And some cards that you wouldn't think, like that 95 Bowman's Best. And so there are anomalies of cards that you would think would have a lot of pop, or would be very low pop, and has a lot of cards. So it's just, you know, every year is a little different, every set's a little different. But this is one of my favorites because it's die cut and refractory, so it's just kind of combining 2 awesome technologies into one. This is the card I was telling you about, the Atomic Refractor from 97's Bowman's Best. This is the mirror image, where you could have one that had the invert image. And so this one is 38 total with 6 10s. And then you go the mirror image inverted. They're a lot harder. There's only 8 of the inverted, and there is 38 of the regular, right? So finding the inverted version of this card would be a fun thing to try to do, open some packs and see if you can find some inverted versions, but they're obviously pretty rare. And I don't think they were announced. Maybe they're like a hidden version or hidden variant that came out. This is a 7. I usually don't collect 7s, but this is a cool card. It's from Topps, I believe. Just, yeah. So Topps did these 1997, these Interleague cards. And they came with or without coding. And this one, I'm looking for the coding because sometimes it's hard to see. The coding's been removed. So they look a lot nicer without the coating on them. So this is no coating. And there's 36 of these, 7 10s and 23 with coating and 6 10s. So 13 10s total between the two. Just a cool set, and won't break your bank. Now the next cards up here are all part of the same set. So here is the regular version of this card. So this is the 98 Finest Refractor, and the 98 Finest Refractor, has and this has the protector. So the protector, there are 19 of these graded 7 10s, right? So a lot of people peeled these to get higher grades again. So the peeled is harder to find in PSA, but a lot of people peeled them before sending them in. Now there's the other version of this card, which looks like the same on the front, but it's the what they call the no protector. And so they made this card with and without the protector for that same reason, because some people thought they looked nicer. But they made the back refractory, and you can see the regular card did not have a refractor back. And so that's how you can tell the peeled from the no peel. And the no protector, guys, this card itself only has 27 total graded with 9 10s. And again, that's right in the middle of the pack again but it's still a really nice card, and a lot of people like base refractors like me. And again, here's the same card as a PSA 9, which is a pop count of 15. So 15 of these guys right here. All right. And then we've got the 98 Topps Chrome Refractor. Again, this is a base refractor, which is my favorite. And there is 39 total graded with 13 10s and 18 9s. So there you go. Pretty low pop. And I think these Topps Chrome, and I don't have the 96 or 97, so they're on the bucket list of cards to get. But they look so clean and sharp and just really, really nice cards. That's why they're on my list. Now, my next card here is theoretically, depending on how you judge it and grade it, this is one of the rarest base cards ever made of Griffey as a refractor. And there's been only 20 of this card been graded total. So it's a 99 Bowman's Best. And it's, numbered out of 400. There you can see it numbered out of 400. And, only 20 has ever been graded, and 11 of them are 10. So it is a high percentage of 10s, but this one has a little bit of a print line on them, and a lot of them do. But yeah, they're super shiny and numbered and everything you'd want out of a cool set from the 90s. So, excuse me. So this card, obviously, depending on taste and just how people look at cards, a lot of people wouldn't say that's the best Griffey refractor of all time. but it is one of the hardest to get, and very few have been graded, and there's only 400. So it does fall on my list of very cool Griffeys. I'm glad I picked it up. And here's one from the same set. It's the Bowman's Best, franchise best, numbered out of 1,000. You can see it. It was in my last mail day. I just got it. You know, it's not. I wouldn't say it's one of the, you know, cards I would say is you know, super duper rare. But, you know, it's just fun to look at, you know, and it is a nice looking card. Next up is 1990 Bowman Chrome. This is a PSA 9. So this is the base refractor, which is, again, really cool. And there's 36 total graded with only 510. So it's actually one of the harder to get 10. So, you know, this is a 9. There's only 27 of these 9s in existence. So it's one, I like these cards. I know some people didn't like these cards when they first came out. Kind of the black wood green was a little off-putting, but I really like them. And I don't know, to me they're very iconic, because this is a lot of, I bought a lot of this kind of product, and this is like when I was, you know, right before I went to college, or you know, things were, you know, the kind of the last things I really collected before I took a hiatus. This is an insert from Bowman Chrome that year, and it's a lasting impact. These lasting impacts, you know, there's only 15 of these that have ever been graded in 610, so this is pretty rare. And again, these are the kind of cards I would have considered submitting years ago at $15 to $25, but at $100 per card, and I have to find some bulk way of getting them there. Can't really afford them. Next up is three really interesting cards that came from the 99 Finest set. So these are the Milestone cards, and they're all numbered. Sometimes they're numbered differently, but two of them have kind of, I think, similar numbers. But here's the hit version, and again, it's numbered out of 3,000. There you go. So, and then you've got the doubles, which is numbered out of 500. These all came from 99 Finest. And then you've got the home runs, which is numbered out of 500. And I think I got the doubles. One of these two cards I pulled out of a box, and it's on my channel. So if you want to see me pull one of these, it's in that video. And these are really cool cards. And they're just not worth a whole lot. If you look at the pop count, you know, the Milestones, again, you know, some of them are numbered out of 500, but, you know, I'm missing the RBI, which is numbered out of 1,400, so there's 4 total Milestone cards for Griffey. But, you know, the home run, there's only been 18 graded. In the doubles, there's only been 26 graded. So, and 10 10s on the doubles and 11 10s on the home run. So, pretty tough card. And, you know, not a whole lot available right now. This is a newer one. This is the split screens out of Finest. This is a 9. These split screens, they did the set twice, basically. They got a double feature, and they did split screen. So this is the split screen only Griffey. There's 40 with 22 10s, so 40 total graded. And then there's 12 9s. So this is one of 12 9s. Pretty rare, but they're kind of, some people thought they were a little cheesy, and, you know, they're not really popular. But, you know, from a completist perspective, you know, and just kind of liking those kind of cards, I am very happy to see it. Now, the last Finest card, and I, you know, I hate to, you know, kind of talk about this card because it's one of my favorite cards I've ever picked up. It's the 99 Finest Gold card, numbered out at 100, and it's card number 200. So Griffey had some multiple base cards in this year. So 99 Finest, you had the Finest Gems, card number 101, and just the regular Finest Gold. And so this is his base, because I think the Gems I would consider to be more of a subset. So I consider this to be kind of really the true base. This is the gold, and the gold's numbered out of 100, so you can see it right there, numbered out of 100. and I haven't got it graded. And at one point, I thought about trying to put it in a one touch. I realized pretty quickly it was bigger than the well for the one touch. The card is a little oversized, and I've had it in the sleeve ever since. And I'm going to eventually get it graded. So I just got to figure out when and where and why. But obviously, it's pretty rare, and there's only been, this has got the coding, only 5 cards with the coding submitted. And all 5 got a 9, and then there's 13 not with the coding removed, and 11 of those 13 got 10. So that's why you remove the coding, as you get better grades. And so, but only 5 have been submitted without, and they all got 9. So it doesn't hurt your grade too much, it doesn't appear. And then lastly, in the 90s, again, here's 2 Clout 9s from 99. I believe this is from 99 Topps Chrome. Let's see. This might be 98 Chrome. Let me look. Interesting. I may have got these out of order a little bit. Topps Chrome. Yep, these are Clout 9s from 98 Topps Chrome. Sorry. But I pulled one at one point in my lifetime, and then I bought another one because I forgot I had one, so to speak. They're 1 in 72, so they're not too tough. But I mean, I guess they're not too easy. 1 in 72, you know, it's like 1 every 3 boxes back in the day, so it's still pretty tough. But, you know, just cool inserts. And then the last 2 cards I want to show you, you know, in my collection, so I'm glad you guys stuck with me today. My last 2 cards is just to show you that, you know, I talk about the 99 season as being kind of like really the last season where we got to see Griffey as a Mariner, and all of his cards. You know, it's kind of like in 2000 we saw, you know, him being traded and being a red on a lot of cards. And so you can see, like the 2000 finest, you know, the Griffey shows him as a red, holding up his jersey at the press conference. But then the 2000 Topps Chrome, which came out, I think, earlier, shows him as a Mariner in a cool psychedelic refractor in 2000. So 2000 is kind of interesting year because you see him both as a red and a Mariner. And I think mostly as a Mariner still. So that's that's my collection. You know, I went through some of the rarity, but you know, again, I'm trying to, you know, focusing on the base, but I like them all, and so I keep buying them all. Hope you enjoyed it. You know, I got some definite goals and missing pieces, especially those top Chrome cards from 96 and 97. And getting more of the gold, you know, embossed refractors, you know, that's a huge whale card for me. The 97 finest embossed refractor, gold or silver, either way. You know, those are kind of like collection goals in the future. Now, you know, so this is again 200th episode. Hope you guys like the content. You know, it's collectible content. You know, I'm not going to give you some investment advice other than just say, you know, some of these cards are going to be harder to find to get. You know, that's my advice is if you're into collecting and you really want these cards. I'm not sure they're going to go down on some of these really rare ones because there's just not a lot of supply. But, you know, the thing that's cool about them is there's so many of them out there, 144, that they slip through the cracks. You can sometimes get these cards a lot cheaper than you think you could, and it's just because there's so many of them out there, and some people don't see the pop counts, and so they don't realize that the 97 Bowman Chrome International Refractor is super rare. They just go like, oh, it's another refractor from a set that I don't really remember, and a variation of that, and so it doesn't really sell for a lot. But I think those days might start to get over as people start really seeing every, because I look at like Tom Brady right now and Aaron Rodgers, it's every card that's a refractor or numbered. They don't care what it looks like. If it's the ugliest card in the world, it's still going up in value. So I think that could happen at some point with some of these Griffey cards, and they say, oh, this is a super low pop, I'm going to go after it and drive the price up. That could happen. So just a warning, I'm not saying to invest in Griffey cards or anything like that. If you're a true collector and you just love the cards, I'm just saying like there's not a lot of supply out there. So do with that as you may, buy what you want in terms of Griffey, but some of these are pretty rare and may not come up very often. So And another thing too is I buy a lot of them raw, and you know, one of these days when I grade some of them, you know, I got some double, so you know, maybe I'll sell. So that's the video. Hope you guys had a good day, and hope you have a great week, and I'll talk to you guys later. See you soon. Bye.